The sun rises slowly over the Nile River in eastern Africa. A golden mist clings to the surface of the water, and the riverbank is deceptively still. Egrets stand like white statues along the muddy shore. A family of warthogs trots cautiously toward the water's edge, snouts twitching, sensing something ancient and invisible in the air. They are right to be afraid. Beneath the surface, something waits. It has been waiting for 3 hours. It does not breathe heavily. It does not fidget. It does not blink. Roughly 4 meters of muscle, bone, and armor lies suspended just below the waterline. A Nile crocodile, one of the largest and most dangerous reptiles alive on Earth today. Its heart beats just 2 or 3 times per minute. Its brain is focused on a single, cold, patient purpose. It is waiting. This is not a story about monsters. This is a story about survival, raw, ancient, and brutally honest. This is the story of the crocodile and its place in the living world. To understand how dangerous a crocodile truly is, you must first understand what it is made of. The crocodile's body is, by any scientific measure, an engineering masterpiece. Its skin is covered in osteoderms, bony plates embedded directly into the scales, creating natural armor that can deflect the teeth and claws of most predators. Beneath that armor lies muscle so dense and powerful that a crocodile's tail alone can launch its entire body clear out of the water. The jaws are the centerpiece of this biological body. A large Nile crocodile bites down with a force exceeding 16,000 newtons, the most powerful bite of any living creature on the planet. To put that in perspective, a great white shark bites at roughly 4,000 newtons. A lion, perhaps 1,800. The crocodile does not simply bite. It eliminates the possibility of escape. But raw power is only part of the story. The crocodile's true weapon is its mind, or rather, its extraordinary patience. Studies have shown that crocodiles can go months without food, their metabolism slowing to a near halt. They do not chase. They do not tire. They simply wait until the world comes to them, and the world always does. Animals the crocodile dominates: the Great Migration, Wildebeest and zebra, the Mara River, Kenya, August. More than 1 million wildebeest are moving. The annual Great Migration, one of the most spectacular wildlife events on Earth, pushes these animals hundreds of kilometers across the Serengeti in search of fresh grass. But to complete the journey, they must cross the Mara River, and the Mara River belongs to the crocodiles. Dozens of Nile crocodiles have gathered here. They have been gathering for weeks, drawn by instinct and memory to this crossing point. Some of these crocodiles are over 60 years old. They have seen this migration before. They know it will come. They are ready. The first wildebeest hits the water, then hundreds more follow, their hooves churning the river into a brown chaos of foam and mud. The crocodiles move. What happens next is not elegant. It is not theatrical. It is simply efficient. A crocodile locks its jaws around the neck of a 250-kilogram wildebeest. The animal struggles violently, but the crocodile does not fight back in the conventional sense. It simply holds. Then, with a sudden violent rotation of its entire body, it executes what biologists call a death roll, spinning rapidly to disorient the prey, flood its lungs with water, and tear through muscle and bone simultaneously. Within minutes, an animal that could outrun most predators on land is dead. A single large Nile crocodile can consume up to half its own body weight in a single meal. After such a feast, it may not need to eat again for several months. Wildebeest are not the exception. They are the rule. Zebras, Congoni, Impalas, warthogs, waterbuck, any animal that must drink or cross water in crocodile territory lives under a permanent sentence of potential death. The crocodile does not discriminate. It does not spare the young or the old out of mercy. Every creature that enters the water enters the crocodile's domain. Cape buffalo. When size is not enough, the Cape buffalo is one of Africa's most feared animals, weighing up to 900 kilograms, with curved horns capable of disemboweling a lion. The buffalo has killed more African hunters than almost any other animal. It is not prey that surrenders easily, and yet, large Nile crocodiles particularly males, exceeding 5 meters, have been documented, seizing buffalo calves, and even isolated adult females at river crossings. The crocodile does not attack the herd. It does not challenge the buffalo on open ground. It waits for the precise moment when an animal is vulnerable, mid-crossing, off balance, separated from the group, and then it strikes with a speed that seems impossible for something so large. The buffalo's power means nothing once the crocodile has locked onto a limb or throat and begun to pull. The river itself becomes the crocodile's weapon. It drags its prey down into a world where horns and hooves are useless, where there is no ground to stand on and no air to breathe. Down there, in the dark, cold water, the crocodile has never lost. The birds, a deadly tax on life at the water's edge. Herons, egrets, storks, ducks, cormorants. The water's edge is rich with bird life. Most of these birds exist in an uneasy relationship with crocodiles that can shift from tolerance to lethal ambush in a fraction of a second. A crocodile will lie motionless for hours, looking for all the world like a harmless floating log, while birds wade and feed just meters away. Then, with a lunge that covers several meters in under a second, a bird is simply gone. No warning, no sound, just a brief splash, and then stillness again. Wading birds, particularly the large ones like the Goliath heron, are especially vulnerable. Their long legs make them confident in shallow water, but shallow water is exactly where crocodiles prefer to wait. Fish, turtles, and smaller reptiles. These are the crocodile's everyday diet. A large crocodile will eat thousands of fish over its lifetime, using its jaws with surprising delicacy to catch slippery prey before crushing them with a snap. Freshwater turtles are consumed whole or crushed, shell and all. Monitor. Lizards venturing too close to the water's edge are snatched and drowned. Even sizable pythons have been killed by crocodiles in documented encounters. The snake's constriction, useless against an animal that has no need to breathe in the short term and whose armored body resists crushing. In South America, massive anacondas and black caimans share waterways in tense coexistence, with large adult caimans generally holding the advantage overall. But the very largest anacondas, the shocking truth, are the crocodiles. Perhaps the most disturbing aspect of crocodile behavior is that their greatest threat to each other is themselves. Crocodilians are profoundly cannibalistic. Large dominant males will actively hunt and eat smaller crocodiles, including juveniles and even young adults. In times of scarcity, no crocodile is truly safe from a larger one. Hatchlings face almost certain death from their own kind. A female Nile crocodile may lay up to 60 eggs, and she guards them with fierce dedication, one of the only examples of maternal care in the reptile world. But once the hatchlings emerge, they face a gauntlet that includes not just birds, fish, and monitor lizards, but adult crocodiles who view them as nothing more than a small, convenient meal. Of every 100 crocodile eggs laid, perhaps only 1 or 2 individuals will survive to adulthood. The crocodile's relationship with its own species is as brutal as its relationship with any other. Animals that can kill crocodiles. Even the apex has its limits. Even the ancient can fall. For all their power, crocodiles do not rule without contest. There are animals, extraordinary in their own right, that can and do kill crocodiles. These encounters reveal the true complexity of the natural world. The hippopotamus, the river's true king. The Luangwa River, Zambia. Dry season. The water level has dropped. Crocodiles and hippos are crowded together in the remaining pools, forced into an uneasy proximity that neither species welcomes. A large male Nile crocodile, perhaps 4.5 meters long, drifts too close to a female hippo and her calf. What happens next is a lesson in the true hierarchy of African rivers. The hippo explodes from the water with terrifying speed, her jaws open to nearly 180 degrees, exposing canine teeth that can measure half a meter in length. She does not bite the crocodile so much as engulf it. The force of her jaws, generating up to 8,100 newtons, is enough to break the crocodile's spine or crush its armored ribcage. The crocodile, for all its terrible power, is flung, crushed, and driven away. If the female chooses to kill, size up, press the attack, the crocodile dies. Hippos kill crocodiles. This is not an occasional event. It is a documented, recurring reality. Adult hippos, particularly protective mothers, will actively kill crocodiles that enter their territory or threaten their young. Even large dominant male crocodiles give way to adult hippos in the water. In the river's true hierarchy, the hippopotamus sits above the crocodile. The two species do share water bodies, and crocodiles do occasionally scavenge on hippo carcasses. But this is only possible because a living hippo allows it. The moment the hippo objects, the crocodile retreats or dies. The elephant armored giant versus armored reptile. An adult African elephant weighing 5 or 6 tons is simply beyond any crocodile's capability to threaten. But the relationship goes further than mere size. Elephants are intensely protective of their cats, and elephant matriarchs have been filmed charging into rivers to drive crocodiles away from young elephants crossing the water. More dramatically, there are multiple documented cases of elephants actively killing crocodiles are stamping on them with massive feet, crushing them into the riverbank, or using their trunks to pin and batter them against the ground. An elephant's foot striking a crocodile's body delivers a force that its armor was never designed to withstand. The crocodile's osteoderms that deflect, teeth and claws offer no protection against several tons of focused pressure. For a crocodile, an elephant in a bad mood is a death sentence. The jaguar, the skunk rusher of the Amazon, the Pantanal, Brazil, the largest tropical wetland on Earth. Here, in a landscape of flooded forests and open rivers, lives a crocodilian called the spectacled caiman, a solidly built, armored reptile that can reach 2 meters in length. It is a formidable predator in its own right, and it is regularly hunted by jaguars. The jaguar is the largest big cat in the Americas, and it possesses the strongest bite relative to body size of any big cat on Earth. But what makes the jaguar extraordinary in this context is not just its strength, it is its technique. Most predators attack the throat or neck. The jaguar has evolved a unique killing method. It bites directly through the skull, piercing the brain instantly. This technique was almost certainly developed, at least in part, in response to armored prey. The jaguar does not waste time trying to suffocate a caiman through the armored throat. It goes straight through the top of the head, where the bone is thinnest, delivering a crushing bite that ends the encounter immediately. Jaguars do not occasionally kill caimans, they actively hunt them. In the Pantanal, caimans are one of the jaguar's most important prey species. Camera traps and field studies have repeatedly documented jaguars entering the water, ambushing caimans, and dragging them back to the bank, reversing completely the usual dynamic of the river's edge. For a caiman, a jaguar moving along the riverbank is not merely a concern, it is a predator specifically adapted to kill them. The lion, strength in numbers. A single adult male lion versus a large crocodile on land is not the one-sided contest it might appear. Crocodiles are ungainly on dry ground. Their legs push them forward in an awkward gait, and their tails, while powerful in water, become a liability when they cannot maneuver freely. A lion attacking from behind, targeting the crocodile's unarmored belly and the soft tissue around its limbs, can inflict fatal wounds. But lions rarely hunt crocodiles alone, where this behavior has been documented. In areas like the Crocodile Delta, it is usually lions working together, coordinating to distract and outflank the crocodile, forcing it to defend multiple angles simultaneously until it is overwhelmed. There are remarkable film sequences of lion prides, driving crocodiles away from kills, and even killing crocodiles that refuse to retreat. The crocodile is not helpless on land, but against multiple lions working as a unit, it is at a severe disadvantage. The Nile monitor lizard, destroyer of nests. The Nile monitor does not kill adult crocodiles. It does something arguably more damaging. It destroys their future. Monitor lizards are relentless, highly intelligent nest raiders. Despite the female crocodile's fierce nest defense, Monitors are persistent. They wait, they watch, they probe. The moment a female crocodile is drawn away from her nest, even briefly, a monitor lizard can excavate and consume an entire clutch of eggs in minutes. Their claws and snouts are perfectly designed for digging out their nests. The crocodile's relationship with the monitor lizard is therefore not one of physical combat but of constant attrition, a war of patience waged against the crocodile's reproductive future. In some areas, monitor lizards destroy the majority of crocodile nests in a season. The Nile crocodile's greatest enemy, humanity. No animal on Earth has killed more crocodiles than humans. Hunted nearly to extinction across Africa and Asia through the mid-20th century for their skins, which became luxury leather goods. Crocodilian populations collapsed catastrophically. By the 1970s, some species had lost over 90% of their numbers. Conservation efforts reversed this for several species, but illegal poaching continues. Habitat destruction, pollution of waterways, and human-wildlife conflict kill thousands of crocodiles each year. The saltwater crocodile, the largest living reptile on Earth, was nearly wiped out entirely before international protections were put in place. The species that survived ice ages and asteroid impacts has found its most formidable opponent not in another animal, but in the one creature that has learned to reshape the world itself. The river does not belong to any one creature. It belongs to all of them, and to none of them. The crocodile is not evil. It does not kill.